Hey, Steve Stine here, and today we're going to be talking about You Don't Mess Around with Jim by Jim Croce. Now, this song has got a bunch of different ways that you could play this, so I'm going to start with the easiest way, and then we'll just keep kind of embellishing to kind of figure out what would be best for you. So the first thing is it's really just a blues progression in the key of E, so we're using E, A, and B, okay? So however that's good for you, E, A, and B. Now, when the song starts, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call that the intro, and we're just playing E that whole time. Now, I'm going to show you all kinds of different ways of doing things, but let's just start by just playing chords here. So we've got an E, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, it isn't really like a full-blown kind of strum. It's more of this shuffle. So if you're just strumming chords, you kind of want to keep them muffled a little bit. Now, you might actually physically palm mute, which is where I set my palm right here. So I get this sound versus whatever's good for you. But the trick is just keeping it nice and subtle. Which would be a really nice strum to just play down, 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 bum, 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 bum. And right there I'm going up, down, up, down, up. So I'm just adding in this. And if you have a hard time palm muting it, you might just strum it, but just keep it subtle. It certainly sounds better with a bit of a palm mute in there. Okay, then he's going to start singing, and that's where we start what we'll call the verse section. We're going to be doing this E chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, for 8 counts, 8 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to do that for 8 measures. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the A chord for 4 measures. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to B, A, B, A, 1 measure apiece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go through this all again, but just so you kind of can set this up a little bit, okay? So B, A, each for a measure, and then E for 2 measures again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, the problem with a B chord, if you're new to guitar playing and you're new to chords, is there really isn't a great way of playing a B chord. There's B bar chords and things, but if you don't know those yet, you may only know a B7 chord. So B7, we could play by putting our middle finger on the 5th string on the 2nd fret, our first finger on the 4th string 1st fret, put our 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, skip the 2nd string and put our pinky on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So that's a nice way of just playing a B7. So you've got E, A, and B7. Okay? So again, our intro is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our intro. Then Jim starts singing this song. We're going to go E for 8 counts, or not 8 counts, I'm sorry, 8 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then A for 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then B, A, each for a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then E for 2 measures. E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That leads us into the chorus. Okay, you don't pull on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, all that stuff. So here what we're doing is going A, E, A, E, A, B. Okay, so we're going A for a measure, E for a measure, A for a measure, E for a measure, A for 2 measures, and then B to E. So it looks like this. You don't tug on Superman's cape, 2, 3, 4, A, Now 2 measures of A on the mask of the old Lone Range, and you don't mess around with Jim. Okay, so A, E, A, E, 2 measures of A, B, E. Now, there's a little part here where he just scat sings for a couple of measures. What's going to happen is you're going to play E for yet another measure, then you're going to go to B or B7 for 2 more measures. And it just takes a little bit of listening to the song to get comfortable with it. So let me play the whole thing here of the chorus. Okay, you don't tug on Superman's cape. Here it is. A, E, A, E, A, B, E, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, and then we start all over again into the verse. Okay? Now, that would be enough to be able to get through this song. Just structurally, you have to think, and if you have a pencil or a piece of paper, whatever, to write this down, your intro, the very beginning of the song, is 4 measures of E. Your verse is 4 measures of E, 8 measures of E, I'm so sorry, 4 measures of A, and then B, A, B, A, each for a measure, and then 2 E's. That's how your verse goes. That's what you have to memorize. Now the chorus goes A, E, A, E, A, B, E, which makes sense. But then you've got these 3 weird measures at the end where you're going another measure of E and then 2 measures of B. Now when I say B, I mean B7 or whatever it is you're playing. And that's what we're going to talk about next is how could we change this to make this a little bit more bluesy? Well, one thing you can do that's very easy is change all of your chords into what we call dominant 7th chords. So E becomes E7, which you can add by putting your whatever finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret there. And then A, we normally have A3 in a row like that. Well, we could add somebody on the 1st string 3rd fret. That's a really easy way of turning it into an A7 chord. Okay, and then of course we've got our B7 that we've been playing all along. So by just changing just a couple of things like that and turning your E into an E7 and your A into an A7, okay, so my E looks like this. I'm just adding this right here. And then my A, I'm just adding it onto the 1st string. Okay, so now I've got this E. And when he starts singing, again, I don't really see a real need for this note because it's all this kind of lower palm muted bassy stuff. And we go to our A. Again, I would stay kind of bassy. But here we go to B7, A7, B7, A7, E. And that's leading me into the chorus, so that might be a nice place to do this E7 sound. And then once I get to the chorus, I would say full-on 7th chords there. So I've got A7, you don't tug on Superman's E. Sorry, you don't spit into the wind. Then you're back again. So what makes this song difficult, I suppose to a certain degree, is the chords, but most importantly it's the groove, because it's so dynamic. Like when he's singing, it's all kind of quiet in the verses, and then when he gets into the choruses, it's kind of more full on. So you could start off by just doing them, you know, E major, A major, and then B, however is best for you. You know, if you play a B power chord, that's okay too. But just something to cover that B chord. If you want to bump it up a little bit more and make it a bit more bluesy, then it's nice to turn your E into E7 and your A into A7 and your B7, of course. And then the other thing is trying to kind of separate this kind of nice strum, and then when you get into the choruses, of course, then you're kind of back into that groove again when you start the verse again. Okay, now there's a lot of other ways that you can play this. If all of those make sense to you, but you'd rather play it a little more like Jim Croce used to play it, then you can start doing something like this, where instead of playing an E chord, we're playing it as a power chord. So I'm using this finger like this, pressing on these two strings, 5th and 4th strings, and you start adding in this. Okay, so now what I'm doing is this. I'm going, and then I'm adding my 3rd finger on the 5th string, 4th fret, pinky on the 5th string, 5th fret, and then back to the 4. So I'm going like this. See? So I get this kind of... And it sounds really neat. Now, when it goes to the A chord, I can continue doing that. After watching a couple of different videos of Jim Croce playing this, he moves up to the A power chord right here, and he starts doing the same thing up here. So he's still doing that same idea over the A. And then it goes to the B, and then the A, and the B, and the A, right? So then he just goes to bar chords. Okay? So there's a lot of different ways that you could play this. Adding that little groove in over the E and the A, playing them as bar chords. If I was playing this song, I guess it doesn't matter to me whether I'm playing, you know, E, E7, A, and B7 down here, or if I'm playing, you know, E7, A7, B7 like this. I guess I could do it either way, or, you know, play it both ways depending on what I'm doing in the song. But just kind of getting, the most important thing is getting the vibe down so you can feel the rhythm and you can decide on those chord changes, which ones make the most sense to you, since you're the one that's learning how to play it, right? If all of this seems very foreign, then I would start off by just playing the E, A, and B as easy as humanly possible. Now, you could even go as far as to be able to play these, you know, I could, do I have one? Yeah, I got a capo here. I mean, if this was really hard for you, you might put this on, and then you could play D. Instead of playing your E down here, you could play. Then when it goes to the A chord, you'd go to G. Then you could play it as G, D, A with the capo at the 2nd fret, right? So now we're transposing is what's happening. I'm not trying to confuse you, but now whenever you used to play E, you'd be playing D. Whenever you used to be playing A, you'd now be playing G. And when you used to be playing B, now you'd be playing A. So if you need to use a capo just to have fun with the song, that's okay too. The most important thing is just figuring out what's going to work best for you so you can play the song and have some fun. So take care, practice hard, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, Steve Stine here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do me a favor and like it and share it. And also, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you're always notified when I release new videos. And lastly, if you have any song requests, please look in the description. There's a link that you can click on and request a song, and I'll do my best to get to it as soon as possible.